Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas football's 51-22 win over UCF, and that is exactly the response that Lance Leipold wanted to see from his program and his team, considering the way that last week's game at Texas went, and that was wire-to-wire domination, similar to the Oklahoma State game last year where KU jumped out to an early lead, really controlled it, and really never looked back outside of maybe a little bit of a lull there in the second half. And, I think we're looking for Kansas to show improvement. And I look to the trenches in this game as the area where KU really continues to show its evolution as a football program. Obviously, I think the story is offense, right? KU puts up 50 points, the most points against a Power 5 team, not including any overtime games, since the Texas win in 2021. We think about KU's offense being so high-powered, and this is the most points they've scored in a regulation game since that game against Texas, right? And I think generally it's the running game. Jason Bean threw the ball 12 times for 92 yards, and KU's running backs totaled 399 yards. It's the most yards since 2018, and if KU had been able to get 2 more yards, if one of Daniel Highshaw's broken tackles went for a little bit more, Devin Neal or Dylan McDuffie went for a little bit more, I mean, you're talking over a decade, almost 2 decades worth of data. KU's not run for over 401 yards since at least 2005. Still working on the official number on that one. Things got a little hectic post-game, but this performance here in the trenches is so impressive. KU's offensive line did such a great job, and UCF's defensive line is not the biggest, it's not the most physical. KU's going to play all year, but that's why it's impressive, because this is a game that Kansas should have lined up and said, we are more physical than you, and we're going to dominate you for 4 quarters. And that's what they did. And again, that part is impressive. The ability to impose your will on an opponent, right? How long has it been since we've seen a KU team do that consistently? And that's what this team is doing this season, and that's why I think this win is so impressive in that regard. And look, Devin Neal, Daniel Highshaw, they were fantastic. I mean, if anyone embodies the physicality that I think Lance Leipold wants this program to have, it's Daniel Highshaw. Some of the runs he had today, I swear, we didn't talk to him post-game, but I swear if you got him some true serum, he would have told you he was looking for contact on a few of them. There are a few of those plays where it looked like there was a little bit of green grass he could have run into, and instead he takes a step towards a UCF defender to try and truck him, and he had more trucks than I can count. That's how physical he was. And so offensively for KU, this is a great response to last week. Jason Bean executed when KU needed him to execute. The wide receivers blocked, the tight ends blocked. Holistically, a really, really solid performance from the offense. Maybe one drive where you thought maybe not the most efficient that KU could have been. Defensively, we've seen KU really struggle against up-tempo teams, right? Oklahoma, Texas Tech last year are 2 that really come to mind. And here we are looking at a game where KU holds UCF under 400 yards for the first time this season. They played Kansas State on the road, right? They played Baylor at home. Both of the times they got over 400 yards of total offense. Well, today, KU held them under that. Now, granted, there was a quarterback situation where John Rice Plumlee starts the game and then tweaks his knee, and then Timmy McClain is back in. KU took advantage, and they did not allow UCF to get anything going in their tempo. We saw tackling be an issue last week against Texas. Tackling was not an issue here on Saturday afternoon as KU got lots of bodies to the ball, lots of helmets to the ball. It's the exact type of defense I think you saw against Missouri State in the first half of that game, where KU was just flying to the ball. It's really hard to miss tackles when you got 2 or 3 guys right behind you ready to help back you up, and that's exactly what you saw. Trevor Wilson got a special teams touchdown. For those that follow me on Twitter, they would have seen that I called that back in September. He's got some juice to him in the return game. And look, this was not a perfect special teams game for KU. Seth Keller misses his first field goal of the season. Owen Pieper-Gertis and the extra point on the other end of the field back over there. That was weird. Bad snap, bad hold. But still, I think a good special teams game, right? KU did not give UCF any chance to return one of the kickoffs as well. So collectively, this is the perfect response. KU went to work, didn't let one loss become 2, and I think that in of itself is evolution. Something Tyrone Berryhill mentioned after the game was that last season, that's what had happened to KU, right? Obviously, the competition really increased during that losing streak, but He felt the team let one loss turn into two and into three. And that didn't happen. I think that in of itself, too, is improvement. So now KU has 5 wins. They're 1 win away from bowl eligibility. They'll be bowl eligible. It's just a question of when. Next week, they go to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State looks a lot better now than they did 2-3 weeks ago. But from what I saw here today, even if Jason Bean is the starting quarterback for Kansas, that's a game they can win. You know, K-State did not look great against Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State did not look great against Kansas State either. So this is a KU team that you're looking at the schedule now, and Texas Tech is wishy-washy. We'll see. Iowa State, a little wishy-washy. Oklahoma State. KU could realistically win 8+ games, but they've got to play well. They've got to play complementary football like they did today. And I think that, for me, is the big takeaway, right? Evolution. How is this Kansas program evolving over time? And you're seeing it in real time. Complementary football. The defense is not the weak link anymore. They're doing their job. The special teams is not losing you games, right? All this put together is putting together a program that now can make bowl games consistently. And that's huge improvement. So I think overall, a really impressive performance. Obviously, we'll have tons of coverage on fog.net. I got a lot more thoughts that I'll sort through as I rewatch the game into Sunday morning. But thanks as always for watching. And make sure if you're watching on YouTube, right, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, drop the comments. It helps us with the algorithm, the old algorithm. Helps us find more people and more people find us. So thanks as always for watching. Hope everyone has a great Saturday and Sunday.